I came to know Hawk sir since 1971, must have been in the month of September or so. After I passed my MSc, I was encouraged by some senior people in the university that I should do research in chemistry, and that's why I joined the university as a research scholar, and I was directly working under Hawk sir. Hawk sir was the founder member of the chemistry department of the university, and also he was the head of department. He was a gentle person, which all of you all know. But then I was not very interested in research. But then we used to exchange notes of development, etc. in education. And in 1985, though I was completely dealing from the university, Hawk sir was very kind enough to listen to me and my wife's idea of opening a school, encouraged us that we should do it. So we did it. And to show his encouragement in our in our goal, what he did was that, I can't remember the exact year, he wanted to prepare children who have passed, like we are doing these coaching classes, these people do, Akash and Career Point and all that. Similarly, he also thought that why not do something useful at a very nominal rate. He and then another professor used to teach physics and chemistry at a very nominal, and he did it in the school at Amravati. So you can understand how he was always thinking about the future of the students. Being a university professor and coming and teaching in class 11, 12 is something that is unimaginable. However, time passed, and in 1985, Sir's youngest son was to join the higher secondary, just passed me matric. My eldest daughter was to also pass matric. He said, if you let us start, at the minimum 2 we will have students. So that is how, then he said, okay, now let's get things organized. And we had a meeting with all the heads of departments of Dibrugarh University. That's something very interesting. So Dibrugarh University, all the heads of department, right from SMEs to English to everyone, maths, call any subject which you will teach, they all came and we had a lovely meeting in the school campus. And then there it was decided by every single person who attended that we will do everything for this institute. That we will give our service, whatever way we can. You see, you can talk about Dr. Rajput, Sir is there, Dr. Khobin Phukon, who is no longer, who was in English department, then our ex-Vice Chancellor's wife, Korbi Deka, Dr. Korbi Deka, Madam, she also was teaching this thing, she came to teach assemblies. So with all the experts that are there, then I said, okay, very good, we got now, I've got a platform where we have to work. So the platform was created by Hawk sir and the entire university. That is how we moved, and then sir used to take regular classes since then. So come and take regular classes and goes and comes and takes. And always interacting with me. Nearly every day we interact as to what things are going on, how things are going on, finding ways and means for improvement. Slowly, though he used to come maybe twice a week or thrice a week, he became very involved, and he was involved with the institution. And then once he retired, he had got a further extension for 2 years. Then I also waited patiently for another 2 years. And then he came and joined us as a full-timer. And we gave him the post of rector. And from that day onwards, the interesting part was that Sir never used to let me work. I became handicapped. Handicapped in the sense that there was nothing to do. If I want to do something, he would say, no, let me do it. I want to do something, no, let me do it. And actually, I became like what they call a bekar. And the greatest problem was sitting in the room with Sir. One room, 2 tables, and there is one person there, 24 hours writing and writing and writing. And what am I going to do? I'm a bekar here, just can't sit. So then I picked up, I said, no, I have to impress sir, I have to read something. So I started reading books about how education is done in the outside world and how programs we can fit in their program into our system. So my duty was there. So I kept on doing this, and then sir is very practical in the sense, sir is very practical oriented, he facts. He only believes in facts. But I could not convince him too much. And then once I said, sir, we must develop this MCQs. Somehow or the other, I think so. So we rushed to the university to see that machine, where duplicating machine. After it, we saw that Fandasan, I asked Fandasan, Kina. So we bought it. And then we did the MCQs. And when the results of the second unit test came out, sir was extremely happy. What? MCQ has become tremendous change, and he is the one who keeps all the statistics, he is always comparing. And he found that there was a great improvement, never before in second unit test there was such an improvement. So the MCQs had a very, very good effect on the children. Children didn't realize, but we at the background, and sir is one person who believes in feedbacks. Only feedbacks. If a student says something bad about this thing also, he will take it, think as he has got some reason behind it. So we used to discuss. And discuss not for minutes but for hours. And then we tried to implement things. And one thing very important about sir was that after he became full-fledged, before that also, when he used to come from the university, if there is a band or something and if we don't take the class, he used to get extremely annoyed. Because he was always fully prepared with all his notes and all to get into the classes. It's very difficult to find a teacher like that, who is dying to go into the classroom to teach. He is so excited, and that is why the children love his class, because there is excitement within him, and the children are also getting excited. So these are the things which we have learned and we will always cherish. And very unfortunate that he is, I would say, very premature death, because he had at least another 15 years definitely. It was shocking to note that that at midnight that day when he was not well, when Ranjit sir took him to the hospital, Ranjit sir gave the phone to him at 11:30. He talks to me and he said, "Oshini, buisa, more cancer hoise." Then immediately I got off of bed and went to the hospital, and then later on, as you all know, how things went on. But one thing was that he didn't fear death. And then he took it as a part of life. Another big incident one must know about his dedication. When Hoxha's Baida was not well, was just in this VG hospital. It was around, he had the first class, then I think the classes were from 9 o'clock. And he had the first class and he was teaching in one of the sections. And at 9:20 or so, someone rushes come from the VG hospital and tells me that Sir Baida has passed away. So I was in a very awkward position. I had to go to his class. I called him, "Sir, please, एक second. Look here. Baida is no more." So can you imagine a person inside the classroom, his duty is so duty bound that his own wife is not well, but extremely not well. He said, "Okay, let me take my class." So this is what we say duty bound. What goodness we can talk about sir is unlimited. We can only pray that that the soul rest in peace. Right? Okay.